The August work session for the Social Circle Board of Education on July the 27th, 2023 is called to order. First item on the agenda is prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on our agenda, next is the approval of our agenda. Dr. Moore, are there any changes?
No, ma'am.
With no changes, do I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
So moved.
I second. Are there any changes? Any discussion? With no further discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, please say aye. Motion carries unanimous. And sorry guys, I'm used to wanting you guys, if y'all can say the second for me, thank you for your comment. Next, we will have the minutes from our July regular board meeting and the special call meeting. And everyone has had a chance to review those. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented? Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, aye. Motion carries. Minutes from the regular board meeting and special call meeting are approved. Next is board comments. Does anyone on the board have any comments?
Vice Chair, I do have a couple of brief comments, if I may.
Yes.
Good evening. I wish to add my heartfelt acknowledgement of Mr. Callahan's service to this board, the Social Circle City Schools, and our community at large. I know he served as an exemplary mentor to myself during our work together, and I believe every member here would similarly agree. In addition, I would move that we accept the generous donation of 32 acres as put forth by Mr. Hornsby earlier this afternoon.
Mr. Trantham, anything dealing with real estate, we discussed that in executive session.
I don't understand that to be true as a donation.
It's still real estate, so we would discuss it in executive session.
We'll bring it up again.
Any other comments?
Nope, that was it.
Anyone else have any comments? Okay. And I just have a couple comments. The board is very grateful for John Callahan for his service and contributions to our school and community. As we move forward, the governance team will work collaboratively to ensure a smooth transition and continue our effort to uphold our vision to ensure every child we serve has access to knowledge and skills to become mindful, productive, and empowered citizens. The board will begin the process of selecting an interim chair who will serve until December the 31st. The community will elect a chair at the November 2023 election. Beginning in January, the elected chair will serve the remaining 2 years of our prior chair's term. Next, we will have our superintendent's report. Dr. Boer.
Thank you. One thing that I wanted to make the board members aware of, we've prepared the yellow folder for you that has several documents in it. We wanted to make sure that everyone noticed that you have the norms and protocols, the document that we agreed to as a board regarding the ways that we are going to behave and the ways that we're going to interact with one another in our meetings, as well as communications with the greater public. So just want to make sure that everyone's aware of those. We need to use these processes because they will help us to be able to make better decisions for our students and to be the leaders that we can all be in this community. So just wanted to call everybody's attention to the fact that those are there.
Dr. Brewer, if I may, I noted that there's a subscript 1 on it somewhere in the notes that we received, and I just wondered if there was a change to this that I didn't catch when I reviewed it.
How much, Steve?
It discusses norms and protocols, and there was in the earlier distributed information, it had the number, the norms and protocols, subscripted by 1. I don't see it on there now, so maybe that's just, I don't know, oversight on my part.
That may have been part of our working document when we were creating the agenda.
Okay. Because I know we went back and forth on a couple of questions on it.
Correct.
Okay, very good.
Also, I wanted to make sure that everyone was aware that we received a termination letter from Taylor Morris. She terminated the real estate consultant agreement with us in light of the fact that her services were no longer needed, as we had agreed on the offer from the city. Next, I wanted to be able to call your attention to the August board meeting agenda. Carrie's projecting that up on the screen for everyone to be able to see. The focus of our August meeting will be, we'll work through approval of minutes, of course. We will offer some program updates. Those program updates will include, and district reports will include safety and technology updates. Mr. Todd Hilton, our safety and technology director, will be presenting on those topics. During my comments, we will provide a detailed presentation about the information that we're able to share about the new elementary school. We know that folks have lots of questions, and we're really excited about being able to talk about those things during the August board meeting. We are also going to spend some time acknowledging the great work of Nicole Cross and her team. We received for the first time ever an award of distinction for excellent financial reporting, and we're really, really proud of her hard work. It's making a huge difference in our ability to function effectively. Ms. Cross will also make updates for us about the monthly financial report, Fresh Way for Schools. I'm sorry, I mentioned the safety and technology update earlier. We'll have a few new business and action items that we're sure about at this point. One will be the adoption of the FY24 millage rate, and then we'll have some conversations, I'm sure, in executive session regarding human resources and potentially some real estate conversations. Are there any suggestions about other things that we might need to be sure to include during the August board meeting?
Dr. Brewer, there was a note in your email earlier today about, again, an executive session item later today.
Correct.
Is that?
We'll be going into executive session to talk through those things.
Okay.
And then if following the executive session, we need to add something to the August board meeting agenda, we'll do so.
Okay. Does that include this addition that was added to our packet at the beginning of the meeting?
Well, our first step will be to have the executive session conversations today, and then we'll see if there are any things from that that then need to be added to the August regular session.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
That's all, thank you.
Next is new business and action items. We have an action item to approve the FY24 local board governance training plan. Do I have a motion to approve the FY24 local board governance training plan as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have an action item to update policy BCBI, public participation in board meetings. Do I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation for this policy as presented?
Well, I got,
Would you like for her to explain it to us?
Yes,
change.
Per the suggestion of our board attorney, we are making the additional changes to the board participation in public meetings, in our board meetings. And so there were specific suggestions that the attorneys made for all school districts to be able to consider. So Carrie has pulled up the striked out version as well as the redlined version. We did not believe that any of the suggestions that the attorney offered were contrary to the information that we had. They just seemed to be better explanations, more detailed explanations of what we were asking. We're really fortunate here in the city of Social Circle that our families, when they come to board meetings, they use really appropriate and proper decorum. That, as you know, that's not necessarily happening in other school districts. And so that is what inspired the attorneys to make suggestions for us about changes, about just being polite to one another when we're in the board meetings. We want to welcome our family members to come and share with us and share their concerns, especially during those public participation times, but we just want to make sure that we're all remembering to be polite.
So this is from the attorney now.
The red is what's added.
Correct.
You guys ready? You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Do you have a motion? Do I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation for this policy as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying the word aye.
Aye.
Those that oppose, the same sign. The motion carries. We have an action item to update regulations BCBI-R1, public participation in board meetings. If you can give us a little background on that one.
Yes. So the policy is a more brief version, and the regulation has more details, and it includes procedures. So the policy is brief, and the regulation just further articulates the difference between the two.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation for this regulation as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have an action item to call for a special election to fill the board chairman's seat. Do I have a motion to call for a special election to fill the board chairman's seat?
May I share something before
Yes,
you go?
sure can.
I'm sorry, just to make sure that everyone is clear about this. This is a requirement from the elections director in the city, that in order for them to be able to add that position on the ballot that will be coming up when people have the opportunity to qualify at the end of August, they have to know in early August, before the deadlines to share the information with the Walton Tribune, which positions are available. So this request just allows us to notify Ms. Roper that we do need to have this item included on the ballots that will be available in November. And she just needs to know it as early as possible so she can make sure to meet the compliance requirements that she has.
This is for the election of the seat.
Correct. This would occur in November, and then the person elected would begin their service in January.
Any other questions?
Is there not the deadline she has to have that information to publish is
August 2nd.
August 2nd, okay?
So we are meeting that requirement if we are able to move forward with this process. And then when people are interested to apply for the seat, they'll have that opportunity to qualify between August 21st and 23rd. But if we're not able to give her this information by August 2nd, then there wouldn't be the opportunity to qualify, and our next opportunity to have someone run for that seat would be in March.
And we would have to put the whole bill.
And we would have to foot the whole bill, yes, sir.
Any other questions? Okay. Do I have a motion to call for a special election to fill the board chairman seat?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do I have a motion to exit the regular session and enter executive session to discuss personnel, real estate, safety in schools, and the superintendent's evaluation?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. And motion carries unanimous. Do I have a motion to exit the executive session and re-enter the regular session?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have personnel recommendation from our superintendent. We will take them all in one slate. For the certified staff, we have Teresa Cruz, which is media specialist, Jennifer Forster, gifted teacher, Crystal Hunt, social worker, and a resignation for Brandy Owens, media specialist. Do I have a motion to accept these recommendations from our superintendent?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. For the classified staff, we have Stacy Cole, resignation of Stacy Cole, school food services. Do I have a motion to accept the recommendation from our superintendent?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying the word aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. For substitute teachers, we have 5, Robin, Gaddis, Standridge, Watson, and England. Do I have a motion to accept these recommendations from our superintendent?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say aye. Motion carries. We have an action item to ratify the previous recommendation for selection of property for the new elementary school. Dr. Brewer, please share your recommendation.
Yes, I need to clarify an omission from the recommendation that we made during our last meeting, and this recommendation will do that. It includes all of the pieces of property that are involved in the trade. After careful consideration, it is the superintendent's recommendation to accept the city's offer for their property at 335 Vine Circle in Social Circle in exchange for the below-listed properties per the conditions detailed within the agreement proposed by the city. Malka Road, Stevens Park, which is on Fairplay Drive, Social Circle Primary School, and Social Circle Elementary School.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to accept Do I have a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation for this ratification as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say aye. Motion carries. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned.